previous video, we understood the numeric class and what are three different types. I've removed some of it like to make it more easy to understand. Like what are we going to cover in this video? Any hints or any guesses? Type it in the comment if you have got it. If you haven't, in this particular video we'll be covering about the integer class. So in this particular video we'll be talking about the limit of the integer data type. Now you might say limit. Have heard about it if you are into programming in C++ or Java. In C++ or Java, you might find there are two different types for this int, which is, let's write it over here, int and long. You might say there's more to it, long int, and many more. But these are the two brief types, which is int and long. In C++ and Java, not in Python. In Python, there's only one, which is int. So let me just write it, Python. Now you might say, why did I mention Python 3 ? Because Python 2 had this int and long. So let me just write Python. So Python 2 and Java, C++ had int and long, while Python has only int. Now this reduces your task. You don't have to think about the data type which you need to give, which is int or long. And obviously helpful in the competitive programming language. So in competitive programming, you had to check, okay, what is the constraint? And suppose in a coding competition, you had to check whether the constraint matches it or not. Is it 10 to the power 9? So I should use long. Or is it 10 to the power 2? So I can go with int. But in Python, you can use directly int. And obviously it's like you don't have to mention a data type. You just write in a is equals to 1. Now you might say, did I go crazy? Why did I cover the whole board with zeros? Actually, I was liking it. But will you think that a Python would like it? Let's suppose I give the same syntax, which is this long number, to Python. What will it do? Will it throw me an error or will it work? We will check it out. But let me give you some hints. This will work out. Now you might say how this will work out. It's such a long number. It has, let's not count it. It has so many zeros out here. So it should be a very large number. So in Python there is no limit to the bits. It does not work on the limit of bits. It works on the limit of memory space available. So if your particular computer where you are running this has the space, it will work. Now you don't trust me? Let's check it out. So now this is the GitHub code space which we were using previously. Now let's create a new file. I'm naming main.py. Now let's create a variable so that you can trust me now and show an example. So I've used a very long number which is, I don't know what it is, like it's very long. And now let's see if I perform some operation, will it work or not. So if I just add in some random number and print it, according to me it should work, right? So let's enter and see. Yep, it works. So as you can see, Python does not have a particular limit. It works for any particular space limit which is available in the memory. It does not work on the limit of bits. Now you might say, okay, that's amazing, like we can use int now for our work. But how can we check actually whether it's an int, float or complex? You can do it using the type method. Now suppose I want to check for this. It should be an int based on the conception which I told you. But let's check it. It shows class int. Now you might say, why are we checking it? We are doing it because You should not trust anyone who says anything out here. You should always ask for practical demo, which we are doing right now. So let's suppose I use this. Now I print the type of B. Which it should be float. It's float. Now finally for the complex number, or the one which I showed you, 10e to the power 9. Now let's print its type, and you might see it again shows float. Why? What's the value behind C? As you can see, it's 10e to the power 9, which is like among 9 zeros dot 0, which is a float. Now you might say, okay, that looks good. What about the complex numbers? So a complex numbers is shown by a plus bj, which is, let's suppose, 54 plus 9g. Now this will be a complex number, and how you can check its type? Using the type variable, which is this. As you can see, it shows complex. So this is how you can use different variables for the numeric classes, which is int, float and complex. See you soon on next video.